Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more detailed videos. Sonny Corinthos has survived countless threats, betrayals, and power grabs, but nothing has prepared him for the next calculated strike coming from Conrad Sidwell. For weeks, Sidwell has moved in silence, gathering information, infiltrating networks Sonny thought were untouchable, and identifying the precise weak spots that could finally bring the kingpin to his knees. Those closest to Sonny have sensed a shift, an unease in the air, a tightening of the walls around him. But even they can't fully grasp the magnitude of what's already in motion. Sidwell isn't just plotting a hit or a takedown. He's engineering a complete dismantling of Sonny's world, and he's doing it with a level of discipline, patience, and ruthlessness that Sonny hasn't faced in years. It begins with subtle disruptions. Money pipelines slowing down. Contacts going silent. Informants suddenly unreachable. Sonny brushes off the first few signs, chalking them up to normal, everyday complications. But then Brick brings him something far more troubling. Encrypted chatter that points directly to an organized effort targeting Sonny's entire operation. Each message is concise, precise, and coordinated with military-level timing. What makes it more unsettling is that the messages aren't coming from the usual players. This is new. Methodical. Cold. It's Sidwell's signature, even if he hasn't shown his hand openly yet. Sonny senses the ground shifting beneath him. Old instincts kick in. The same instincts that have kept him alive through betrayals, mob wars, and personal losses. He tightens his inner circle, cuts off unnecessary communication channels, and begins probing the shadows for whoever is bold enough to push against him. But Sidwell anticipates this. Every counter Sonny attempts has already been accounted for. Every defensive move feeds into Sidwell's bigger design, and Sonny's frustration grows with each dead end, each false lead, each hint that someone is always one step ahead. Meanwhile, Sidwell's allies, names Sonny doesn't yet know, are putting pressure on every point of his infrastructure. Their goal is simple: isolate him, frustrate him, and force him into reaction mode. A distracted Sonny is a vulnerable Sonny, and Sidwell knows that the moment Sonny feels cornered, he will act from instinct instead of strategy. That is when Sidwell plans to strike hardest. But there's another layer Sonny hasn't detected. Someone close to him, someone he trusts, has unknowingly fed information back to Sidwell's camp. Not through betrayal, but through manipulation. Sidwell understands that the best way to break Sonny isn't through bullets or threats, but through creating doubt among those he trusts most. Paranoia is an enemy that eats a man alive from the inside, and Sidwell intends to let that fear spread like poison. As Sonny pushes his team to uncover the source of the disruptions, Sidwell moves to his next phase, cutting off Sonny's alliances. He reaches out subtly to former associates who have drifted from Sonny over the years, people who hold grudges, people who lost something because of Sonny's decisions. He promises power, protection, and profit. Some accept eagerly, while others hesitate. But Sidwell doesn't need them all. He only needs enough to fracture the image of stability Sonny has built. And little by little, that image begins to crack. Then comes the moment Sonny can't ignore. One of his shipments, a critical one, routed through channels he believed were still secure, vanishes without a trace. No footprints. No witnesses. No trails. It's as if the cargo never existed at all. That's when Sonny knows this isn't random. This isn't coincidence. This is intentional. Someone is targeting him in a way that feels almost surgical. Sonny summons his closest confidants. His tone is darker, quieter, more measured than usual. He knows he's being pushed into a corner, and he has no intention of staying there. He tells them they're dealing with an adversary who understands strategy, patience, and psychological warfare. He warns them that the next few days will determine everything, and that anyone who isn't fully loyal, fully focused, or fully in control needs to step aside. No half measures. No weak links. But even as Sonny rallies his people, Sidwell escalates again. He makes his first real public move, one designed to shake Sonny emotionally rather than professionally. A trusted ally of Sonny's finds themselves targeted in a sudden, chilling attack. Not fatal, but symbolic. The message is clear. Sidwell can reach into Sonny's world anytime he wants. The fear this plants in Sonny's circle is immediate and powerful. People begin to wonder how deep Sidwell's access goes, how much he knows, and how long he has been watching. This is exactly the effect Sidwell wanted. Fear creates hesitation. Hesitation creates mistakes. And mistakes open doors. But Sonny responds with the one thing Sidwell didn't plan for: unpredictability. When everyone expects Sonny to go on the offensive, he does the opposite. He steps back. He reassesses. He watches the shadows instead of chasing them. He lets the trail go cold on purpose, forcing Sidwell to wonder whether Sonny is retreating or simply waiting for the perfect moment to strike back. And that small shift in energy ripples through Sidwell's plans. Sidwell prides himself on control, on precision. But Sonny Corinthos thrives in chaos. He has built his entire empire on surviving storms that would destroy lesser men. And now he begins to move differently, quieter, sharper, more instinctive. He alerts old connections Sidwell hasn't accounted for, people outside the usual circle, individuals who owe Sonny favors they never repaid. These people aren't on any list Sidwell possesses, and that gives Sonny an edge Sidwell didn't see coming. As both men adapt to each other's strategies, the war becomes less about guns and territory and more about influence, psychology, and timing. Sidwell shifts tactics again, targeting Sonny's financial backbone. Accounts freeze overnight. Partners back out. Deals collapse. It's a devastating blow, but Sonny doesn't panic. Instead, he begins to sense the pattern in Sidwell's attacks. The rhythm. The timing. The purpose behind each strike. Sidwell is pushing him toward something. A breaking point, a forced decision, a moment where the pressure becomes too much. Sonny decides to confront the problem head-on. He tracks down a lead brick uncovered about a meeting Sidwell arranged with one of Sonny's former allies. Sonny arrives before Sidwell does, cornering the man who agreed to meet Sidwell. It's not a violent confrontation. Instead, it's quiet, intense, and deeply personal. Sonny demands to know why this person would consider aligning with Sidwell. The answer hits him harder than any physical attack could. They reveal that Sidwell's appeal wasn't just power or money. It was the promise of restructuring the entire mob landscape in a way that makes Sonny obsolete. Sidwell is selling the idea that Sonny's long after he leaves. The idea that someone could erase everything he built, everything he fought for, everything he sacrificed. It fuels a fire in him he hasn't felt in years. Not anger. Not fear. Determination. Meanwhile, Sidwell interprets Sonny's silence as weakness and accelerates his timeline. He organizes a coordinated strike against Sonny's last reliable revenue pipeline. If it succeeds, Sonny will be financially crippled. But Sonny anticipates the move and prepares a trap. When Sidwell's agents move in, they find themselves surrounded by Sonny's people waiting in the dark. It's the first time Sonny has struck back decisively, and it rattles Sidwell enough to force him to regroup. But this victory is only temporary. Sidwell responds by activating his most dangerous asset, an insider with access to Sonny's patterns and habits. Not someone high-ranking, but someone invisible, someone who blends into the background. Their role is simple. Observe Sonny, track his movements, and report back. It's a silent form of surveillance Sonny doesn't detect at first. But eventually he senses he's being watched. It's a subtle awareness, a gut feeling he can't explain, but one he's learned never to ignore. This leads to another turning point. Sonny begins feeding false information through select channels to see which one leaks. When the fake intel ends up in Sidwell's hands, Sonny identifies the source. Not the person, but the location. And that gives him something he has lacked until now: direction. He dispatches a trusted ally to shadow the area quietly, discreetly, waiting for the insider to make a mistake. Days pass. Tension mounts. Sidwell grows impatient, pushing his insider for more details, more schedules, more vulnerabilities. That pressure leads to the mistake Sonny was waiting for. The insider unknowingly exposes themselves through a careless exchange, and Sonny's people catch it. The betrayal hits Sonny on a deeply personal level, even though the insider never meant to hurt him. It's a moment that crystallizes everything Sidwell has been trying to do: break Sonny from the inside. Sonny confronts the insider not with rage, but with a cold, calm disappointment that cuts deeper than any threat. He learns exactly how Sidwell manipulated them, exploited their fears, and used them as a pawn. And instead of retaliation, Sonny releases them, ensuring Sidwell no longer has access to his movements. This infuriates Sidwell, not because he lost a useful asset, but because Sonny's choice showed strength, restraint, and control, qualities Sidwell hoped to erode. Now cornered emotionally, Sidwell decides to take the battle public. He leaks damaging information about Sonny to the press, stories twisted with just enough truth to seem credible. Headlines explode. Rumors spread. Sonny becomes the center of a media frenzy. Allies distance themselves. The public pressure intensifies. But Sonny refuses to break. He stands firm, confronting the wave of accusations with a steely calm that surprises even those closest to him. And then comes the final move. Sidwell reaches out to Sonny directly. A private message. A meeting request. A promise of a deal. But Sonny sees through it instantly. This isn't a negotiation. It's a trap. Sidwell wants to measure Sonny's fear face to face. Sonny agrees anyway. When they finally meet, the air is thick with tension. Sidwell presents himself as calm, confident, certain of victory. He lays out his plan step by step, describing how he intends to dismantle Sonny's empire piece by piece. But Sonny listens without flinching, without fear, without anger. And when Sidwell is done, Sonny delivers a quiet warning. He knows exactly what Sidwell is doing, and he's already dismantling it from the inside. Sidwell is momentarily thrown off. For weeks he has been in control, dictating the flow of battle. But now he senses the balance shifting. Sonny isn't desperate. He isn't cornered. He's calculating, watching, preparing. And for the first time, Sidwell realizes he may have underestimated the man he's been trying to destroy. As they part ways, Sonny's final words linger in Sidwell's mind long after he leaves. "You think you're ending my era? You're not even close." Whatever happens next will determine the future of both men. But one thing is clear, Sidwell's next power play won't go unanswered. And Sonny Corinthos, wounded but unbroken, is preparing to strike back harder than anyone expects. Come back to our channel for all your updates. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel.